Hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Chaos. Today we're taking a look at how to make homemade chocolates. So these chocolate bonbons will be filled with spiced orange compote. Before we jump into making the chocolates, let's work on the filling first. For the filling, prepare a bunch of oranges. The number really just depends on how much you want. Anywhere from 5 to 8 oranges. You should zest them first because you're gonna need some zest too. So zest about 3 oranges or so before you peel those and chop them all up. And then place everything into a pan and just let that simmer and reduce. So we're going to add our spices, throw in a couple cinnamon sticks, throw in a couple star anise, a little bit of clove, and then throw in some sugar. This is really to taste. I personally don't like it too sweet because I am pairing it with the chocolate. So I do want the, orange compote to be a little more on the tart side to help balance out the whole of the chocolate. So let that sit. It's gonna hang out. You don't really need to do too much to it. Just stir it every once in a while. That should thicken up a little bit. Those sugars should kind of start to caramelize, thicken up, and all come together. Once that gets to a good consistency, you can just set that aside and just let it hang out and cool. If you don't want to do the chocolates right away, you can just throw this in a Tupperware and throw it in the fridge and pull it out and use it when you do need it. But if you are ready for the chocolate, here's what you do. Get yourself a decent quality chocolate, like a 56%, cocoa or higher. So again, depends what type of chocolate you prefer. We're gonna do this bain-marie style. So prep a pot of water. It doesn't need to be a lot of water. It just needs to be on kind of low heat. Place a metal bowl on top of that pot. You can start with about 200 to 250 grams of chocolate. So we are tempering this chocolate. Tempering chocolate makes it very shiny and gives it a nice snap when you break it or bite into it. So you want to heat this up to about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you want to allow the chocolate to cool down to about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's for dark chocolate. This varies a bit for other types of chocolate. So once you reach the temperature, then that is essentially ready to use. So next we're gonna prep some cocoa butter. This is optional. You do not have to do this, but we are decorating our molds, and so we want to use different colors. It is important to temper the cocoa butter because it has extremely high fat content, and you can actually just do this in the microwave as well. This is another way that you can just temper chocolate in general. Once your cocoa butter is tempered, we are ready for assembly. You'll need chocolate molds. Decorate your molds however you like. You can brush them, you can splatter, really whatever you want them to be. And once those molds are decorated, go ahead and put them aside and let that cocoa butter cool inside those molds. Once you're done, go ahead and pour your tempered dark chocolate over the molds and fill it up. So once those molds are filled up a bit, I give it a nice little tap to make sure that the chocolate has set in all of the little crevices, and then you dump it out. I try to dump it out back into the chocolate bowl so that we can reuse some of that chocolate and it's not as much of waste. Let that cool for a little bit. Once that chocolate in the mold is solidifying and hardening up a little bit, go ahead and grab your filling. Start filling up the chocolates with your filling. Make sure that your filling is not reaching the very, very top of the mold so that when we go ahead and close them, they will remain closed. Once those are filled up, what you're gonna do is take the rest of that chocolate and pour it over that mold again. This essentially is helping seal those chocolates together. So go ahead and put those aside and let those hang out a little bit while those kind of dry up, harden, solidify. And then we just want to scrape off the chocolate from the top of the mold so that these come out nice and clean once you try and demold them. So flip over the mold and go ahead and tap those chocolates out. You might have to bang it a couple times and those should come out pretty clean. All right, and then there you go. Those should now be shiny, beautiful homemade chocolates. And now hopefully only half of your kitchen is a disaster like mine is. We really enjoy making chocolates ourselves. We think this is pretty fun process, even if it is a bit messy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our website for a full recipe plus more tips and tricks, and follow us on all the socials. See you next time.